So I'm no social media coach, but I wanted to come on here and make a video about if you want to grow social media, because I've had multiple people reach out about like helping with socials and all of that. So while I unload the dishwasher and load it, I'm going to give you some powerful tips that you can use to grow your social media. And yeah, join along. So basically, the number one thing you're going to want to do is you want to post a lot. And when I say a lot of people think like, oh, like a few times a week. No, I'm talking about like a lot. Like you want to post, if you're serious about growing quickly, you want to post like 5 to 6 times per day. And so why are these dishes dirty still? What the? It's like I need to run these through a second time. You know what? That's what we're going to do. We're going to run these through a second time, and hopefully they come out clean this time. But yeah, anyway, you're going to want to post a lot, because what happens is, especially if you're starting out, well, really, it doesn't matter what stage your social media is at, whether you have thousands of followers or you're just starting out. You're going to want to pick your niche, pick your thing. If you don't pick a specific niche, it's going to take you longer. It's going to take you like way longer to build a channel. The hardest channel I've built was my own personal brand on TikTok. I have 11,000 followers now, but that one has been the most challenging. I've been at it for, I kind of created it around the same time I created my other channels, but it's been the hardest to grow because, people will judge you, versus it just being like a faceless channel. So I'm gonna start the dishwasher, and we're just gonna run it through a second time because those dishes were not very clean. And I'm just gonna take you with me over here. So the thing is that you really want to, just lower that down. Okay, so you really want to pick a niche. If you don't, like if you're just trying to grow your personal brand, it's going to be the most challenging because people judge you, and when you're starting out, people are be like, okay, who is this joker? Trying to be someone or trying to do something, and so people will scroll past you. But eventually, if you keep posting, you post a lot, especially if you're niche down on something, then it actually gives the algorithm more opportunities to find your audience. So the really cool thing about social media, about using it to grow a business, is it's like unlimited lottery tickets, right? Because every time you post, there's a chance that the stars align. And yes, it's a small chance. You can't replicate virality. There's things you can do to stack your cards in your favor. Like a lot of these top guys like Mr. Beast and all this, they have a very specific system. And if you don't have a lot of money to throw at the content, like Mr. Beast, he's throwing millions of dollars at some of these videos. But the hooks are like anyone would be interested. Like, watch me fill this swimming pool with Jello, right? It's like, obviously that's interesting and people are going to click that, but there's an investment in that. For regular people, you don't have this type of money to throw at these videos. But what you do have is you do have your unique angle. You do have your personality. And so I guess tip number two, and sorry if this is a little disjointed. This isn't scripted. This is just off the top of my head. But tip number two is, let's say you pick a niche. It doesn't matter if there's other people doing it. Like oftentimes I hear people say, oh, like, there's already pest control channels, or there's already, mortgage broker channels, or there's already a channel, showing parkour. It's like, it doesn't matter. People that watch that type of content, people that like watching pest control style videos, guess what other content they like watching? More of that, right? And so it doesn't matter if there's 6, 10, 20 channels posting about the same thing you're posting. People are going to be attracted to your unique take. So that's the biggest edge you actually have, is you, because there is no replicate of you, right? You have a certain way you deliver the message. You have, even if you're copying the same style videos, there's going to be people that are attracted to your specific style, other than these other ones. And people that like watching certain types of content will just like watching more of it. Content is a drug. It's just the truth, right? So any business, no matter what you're doing, you have this advantage where you can actually also become a drug dealer, in the sense of, educating or filming or giving tips or whatever it might be, sharing what you do on social media and your unique process, or even if you don't have a unique process per se, you are unique. So the way you deliver the message of your process, even if it's the same process, it's the exact same, right? And so that is your edge, is you, right? So so tip number one is you're going to want to post a lot, like a lot, and you're going to want to create a system so that you can do that, right? Because creating a video, posting a video that takes you an hour to set up, that like posting those 5-6 times a day, that's going to be 5-6 of your like hours. It's just not scalable. You'll burn out. So you need to use your brain and think of a system. How do I create the best quality content for in the shortest amount of time, right? And it's a balance. It's like, but in a lot of ways, it's better to go quantity over quality because, like I said, it's those lottery tickets. Every time you post, it's like you have a lottery ticket, and there's a chance that that post will go viral and it will transform your business. I've seen it in businesses all the time where they're posting. They don't get a lot of traction, and and then out of nowhere they have a video that for whatever reason just clicks and it goes like viral and like make thousands and thousands of dollars. Like I've seen this firsthand. So tip number 3 with social media, I would say, is I wouldn't try posting everywhere to start. I would pick a channel and try to nail it, right? And then look at what other people in your industry are doing. Try to copy their hook. So when it comes to a social post, there's really three parts of a piece of social media content that you need to nail. So part number 1 is the hook. Part number 2 is the retention, and then part number 3 is the delivery. So hook, retain, reward. That's the framework. So the hook is what stops people from scrolling. It needs to be, it doesn't need to be something crazy like, jumping at the camera or something like that. Although some people try that. Oftentimes you don't want to make a hook that's like baity, because a lot of people will create hooks that are quite baity and then there's no payoff in the end. And I've been guilty of this, like just trying to create a hook that catches people's attention and then there's really no, I don't retain them and I don't reward them at the end. This is something that I've learned is you want to, in retaining them, you want to keep them wanting more. You want to keep them like waiting for that final payoff. And then the reward is when you actually deliver the value, right? So the hook could be like, here are 10 ways that most people trying to do backflips are like fail, and I'm going to show you at the end how to fix these problems, and so then you can go into the retain of like, this is the first problem that people do when they're trying to do backflips. This is the second problem, blah, blah, blah. And then the reward is when you actually deliver what the actual solution is. And that's how you can get a post getting more retention and then people following you because you've provided value, right? And so you just want to provide a lot of value on social media. Gary Vaynerchuk, he's kind of coined this thing of like right hook, left hook. So it's like give, take, right? And so you want to like for every, what is it? I think it's like for every 3 videos you give, or for every, it's like the ratio is like you want to give 75% of the time and you want to ask 25% of the time. And the TV industry has actually nailed this whole formula. It's like, it's a science. And so they've figured out with commercials, it's like for every hour of value that the TV gives, they're going to take about 15 minutes of commercials. So that's that sort of 3-to-4 ratio or whatever that might be. What else can I tell you? Another really cool hack that I've done to grow channels is because people forget what they've seen in the past. So you can literally just go like scroll through your past best videos and literally just like recreate the video. Like what I did to grow a Twitter account is I would go and look at like, because it was in the cryptocurrency space in XRP, I would go and look at all of these XRP influencers and I would go scroll like a few months before and just see posts that they made, I would literally just copy them, copy those posts, and then post those exact same things. Because people scrolling that see that post, there's a sense of like familiarity. Like they might look at it and it might be familiar. And in the past, if they liked the other creators' post that said the exact same thing, it's going to look familiar and they're going to like it. They're not going to know why this looks familiar, but they're going to be like, yeah, I agree with that. People forget what they've previously watched or what they've previously read. Obviously, if something went viral the day before, it's like maybe don't repost that exact same thing so soon, but you can repost it like a week or 2 weeks or a month later. Just repost content that works. Oftentimes, stuff that works, there's this principle that if you have something that's working and then you try to, let's say you want to get 5% better, oftentimes people will just like change things and like try to improve their content or try to improve their service or whatever it is by that like 5%. But basically there's almost a guarantee that initially you're going to lose 25%, and then over time. So when I used to trade, let's say I had a trading strategy that worked, but I wanted it to be more profitable or something, and I wanted to change something. Well, maybe I could change something to get 5 or 10% better, but like guaranteed, every time I change strategies, I would perform 25% worse for a little while, and then eventually that would catch up and pay off, and then it would be better. But so the lesson in this is that the majority of the time you want to stick with what works, unless there's going to be like more than a 25% uplift, then it's worth that risk, because you're pretty much guaranteed you're going to see about 25% worse results when you initially make that change. So yeah, those are some quick social media tips that come off the top of my head. But the biggest thing, if you could do one thing, it's figure out a way to post consistent content 5-6 times a day, because that's going to, first of all, it's going to make you better at creating content. You're going to see what works quicker, right? And then you're cashing out that lottery ticket more times per day. And that's really the secret to social media. But that's the biggest problem. That's the biggest thing people have a problem with, is this consistency and the amount that you need to do. Because oftentimes people posting on social media, the content's actually fine. Like, it's great. It's just, and people think that, oh, like this isn't working and blah, blah, blah. But it's like, no, you just need to do more of it. That's it. You just need to do more. You don't need to change your camera angle. You don't need to change your format. You just need to be posting more, and that's really it. So yeah, just some quick thoughts. Hope this video helps someone out there. I don't do social media coaching. I do I do AI consulting, and I implement AI systems for businesses and companies to like remove bottlenecks and stuff. But the AI, the social media stuff's interesting to me just because I've just done it for so long. So yeah, I mean, I'd be willing to do coaching, but like it would have to be for a lot of money. Like if you wanted my help, I would charge like 10 grand, and I would work with you for 6 weeks to improve your social media service. But other than that, I'm just focused on what I'm doing with the AI stuff. So God bless you. Stay safe.